Good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. I'm Karen Kozia Phillips. C News is live at noon.
And I'm Nasira Mohammed with sport.
Topping the news at this time, there's a change in the afternoon sailing schedule of the water taxi service. The water taxi will now leave Port of Spain at 3 p.m. and 5 p.m. It will depart from San Fernando at 4 p.m. The service says, in partnership with PTSC, a bus service will be offered to all displaced passengers over the affected period. C News understands the adjustments have become necessary as the water taxi Paria Bullet is being used to help service the Tobago Sea Bridge. Persons who were stranded at the port in Port of Spain overnight are finally in Tobago. The 4 p.m. sailing on Thursday was cancelled due to engine problems to the vessel. As a result, those who wanted to go to Tobago had to wait until after 7 o'clock this morning. Many people stayed the night in the port to ensure they got to make the trip. Among them was David Walker.
Well, we were told yesterday that this morning would be 7:30 departure. When we expected them to announce the departure, they then told us it would not be 7:30 after all, it would be 9 o'clock. In the end, we did depart just after 8:30. There will have to be a huge backlog, I imagine, because neither of the vessels went yesterday. So nothing left Port of Spain yesterday.
He went on to express concern at the situation, especially since he said the Port Authority did not put anything in place to ensure passengers were comfortable.
I can't speak on behalf of others, but I can speak to what I saw. There were people very, very badly affected, especially people traveling with very young children, and the Port Authority has nothing in place to deal with them. In fact, they have a policy that there is no compensation to be paid, as I was told by the manager.
Further news now, police have found Rebecca Baldeo Singh. The 18-year-old was reported missing on Monday by her aunt. Police thanked members of the public for their assistance in finding the new Grant woman. However, no further information was given. Meanwhile, police are seeking help in finding 26-year-old Kana McLeod. The woman from Riseland Road, Canby, was last seen at around 11:30 on Wednesday. Police said she was reported missing yesterday morning at around 10:30. She is said to be 5 feet 3 inches tall, heavy built with a dark brown complexion. She was last seen wearing a green vest with a cream skirt. And police are also looking for Superior teenager Kizianne Williams. She is 16 years old and is a Form 5 student of the Superior Secondary School. Kizianne was last seen at her home at around 1:30 p.m. on Thursday. She is of African descent, 5 feet 3 inches tall, slim built with a dark brown complexion. Anyone with information is asked to contact the police. A teenager was killed in Diego Martin at his home this morning. 18-year-old Jonathan Murphy was sleeping at his Temple Street, St. Lucian Road, Diego Martin home when he was attacked by someone he knew. According to reports, his killer approached him, stabbed him, then went to a nearby bed and pulled the covers. Police came to the scene where the suspect allegedly confessed to stabbing Murphy. He claimed he was compelled by Jesus Christ to do so. The suspect is currently in police custody. Minister in the Office of the Prime Minister, Stuart Young, says Trinidad and Tobago has a stable legal and political environment. This he said while addressing a breakfast meeting on the topic of the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road Initiative. Minister Young maintains that this country is a developing nation.
We are a developing nation, all right? We don't have a very long history of independence and being a republic compared to other nations in the world. So yes, we continue to develop. The laws haven't changed, so we continue to have a stable environment. Citizens continue to feel a sense of security that they can go to court and have justice dispensed. I think what we're seeing are some growing pains and some teething pains taking place, and we look on. But I don't think there's any need for despair at this stage.
In light of the Law Association having no confidence in the Chief Justice and some members of the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, Minister Young said government will continue to observe the matter.
The government legally has no position to play in this. Of course, we continue to observe what is going on. I'm sure there will be discussions with the Attorney General, and we take it from there. We look on to see how it is going to unfold.
This is the CNews Live report at noon. Remember, you can keep up to date with all the latest news on our website at ctvtt.com, or you can check out our Facebook and Twitter pages at CNews Live. The National Gas Company of Trinidad and Tobago and oil giant BP have signed an agreement which NGC describes as a milestone gas supply contract. NGC says it secures a future domestic gas supply for the country. The agreement was signed yesterday by NGC's President Mark Loquan and BPTT's Regional President Norman Christie. The same day, BPTT announced 2 new gas finds in its Savannah and Macadamia wells. Mr. Loquan said the contractual negotiations for future gas supply began in earnest in the last quarter of 2016, and yesterday's signing represented a different operational and commercial relationship for the two entities. He said the days of long-duration contracts and low pricing, when compared to past contracts, are over, and these components now depend on exploration and further development. The Superior Regional Corporation is seeking legal advice after several artists scheduled to perform at the Superior Festival were blocked and told they cannot perform. According to the chairman, Dr. Glenn Ramadasing, this was done by members of the police service during the Big Fet event, which was held at Screamers in Faizabad. He explained the corporation had applied for dance hall and bar licenses to have the event at Erin Park. However, the court did not give it to them. The event was moved to Screamers, where the incident allegedly took place. As a result, Dr. Ramadasing said the corporation is looking to see if legal action can be taken against the TTPS and the Attorney General.
As to whether the SRC would go after the TTPS and the AG to recover and recoup any losses that resulted from inconsistent, unusual, and potentially or possibly unlawful action by the police.
However, he has a plan to ensure this doesn't happen again.
To have an annual year-round license, dancehall and theatre license, and also to attempt to get the bar licenses for major events, because we do not want this to ever occur again. We did meet with the Central Police to have a successful festival. We did go through all the requirements and we did apply to the courts, and for some reason there seemed to have been an inconsistent approach.
Well, despite these challenges, Dr. Ramadasing said the event was a success. Now for the weather report. Occasionally cloudy periods with light to moderate showers in varying localities and possible heavy showers during the afternoon can be expected. There is a chance of the thunder shower occurring in few areas. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding can be expected in heavy showers and thunder showers. Tonight, a few lingering showers will interrupt mostly settled conditions. Hard work and team spirit are what led 4 students of Presentation College, Shogunas, to a victory in the Land Settlement Agency Secondary Schools Debate Competition. The team walked away with a grand prize of $3,000 in cash, a trophy, gold medals, and iPad Pro tablets for each team participant. 3 of the 4 participants spoke on Good Morning Trinidad and Tobago and shared their secret to victory. Rishi Harinanan has more.
Kabir Singh, Caleb Chotai, Gerard Griffith and Antonia Thomas won the LSA Secondary Schools Debate Competition entitled Squatting Affects You and Me. But what led these boys to victory against 15 other schools from around the country?
At each interval, we all had individual research to do, and then with the cooperation of one another and our teachers, we would meet on holidays after schools in the morning during lunch times, and we'd always practice and edit and keep striving for better speeches every time.
But there must be a balance.
You have to know how to schedule your work, to know when you have to do certain studies and when you're doing the debate. For me, example, I allocated some time for the debate specifically, so I won't get distracted or anything. And I'll work on the speech to make sure that it's fine-tuned and we're ready for a debate. And then you could go on to do new work or whatever, but it's all about balance. Without the balance, everything would have gone haywire.
And support from family members and peers was also important.
I think everybody is very supportive, especially considering that our school is most widely acknowledged for being an academic school and academic prowess. But I think that we really need to focus on our sports as well, because holistic development one makes everyone
It's like
special.
second nature. They kind of like used to having people doing a lot of different things at the same time, while also maintaining that balance. It's like everybody in the school is basically holistically developed, so everybody like used to it.
And this motivation can go a long way.
I think that you just have to be willing to work hard in order to achieve your goals, and just be relentless in that you never give up no matter what, because honestly, like I said, we have to work hard and work through the nights without burning midnight oil in order to do well.
Gerard also had some advice for schools.
No two students are the same. So if you treat everybody the same way, it wouldn't be as effective as giving everybody the opportunity to expand in certain areas. For example, I might be good at football and he might be good at cricket. You can't try to force two of us down the same path. Giving children and the students an opportunity to be developed holistically with different activities and sports and stuff like that, give them a better chance to develop into something greater.
Kabir was also named Best Debater at the end of the competition. The trio heaped praises on their teacher Mr. Long for working with them and giving them the encouragement during the period of the debate. They say the experience gained will definitely stay with them for a long time to come. Rishi Harinanan, CNews.
There's been widespread international condemnation of President Donald Trump's decision to withdraw the U.S. from the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement. German Chancellor Angela Merkel called the move extremely regrettable and said nothing would stop those who supported the accord. But Russian President Vladimir Putin said he would not judge Mr. Trump. Mr. Trump said he was prepared to discuss a new deal, but key signatories to the accord quickly ruled that out. Here in TNT, the move is being described as a slap in the face. According to Dion Brebno and Barry Lovelace, Mr. Trump should have reconsidered this move, especially since World Environment Day is to be commemorated on June 5th. Carnival has been over several months now, so what's happening with all those musicians who would have been busy during that period? And are you hearing soca and calypso music as frequently as we would have back then? Well, according to producer Kevin Allen, the artists are not getting airplay, so they aren't doing much. He believes this is the time to get younger artists involved.
People telling the youths to stay away from crime and stay away from the standard, but the youths see an avenue where they can make some money and be touring and flying out and doing different things. I think that they might think twice about doing crime, you know, because as my friends say, a lot of talented youths currently come from the impoverished, the ghetto areas, a lot of talented youths. But if they don't see an opening or something they could do differently, they might fall back into the, you know, the bad habits, the bad ways.
He's created a documentary to highlight this, and it will be launched on Sunday. But why do this?
I say it's all about education, letting people know, because the reason, as I said, the reason why I did this documentary is so people can know the difficulties artists really pass through to get the music on radio, because I mean, people need to be aware so they might appreciate the music a little bit better, because sometimes artists might spend 8,000 on a track, 15,000, 10,000 on a video, and hear a song play twice, probably see somebody tell you, hey, your video look bad, and that is it. You know, so you just now spend a piece of money and you get nothing from it. So if the people see what really takes place behind the scenes, might have a little more appreciation for the music.
We now have Nasira Mohammed with the Sport Report. Tell us what's coming up in sport, Nasira.
Well, Karen, it's all about basketball right now. It's the NBA final, and LeBron James and Steph Curry were in action last night. I'll have details on that and much more. Dylan Carter and Chantal McLean will lead a 64-strong swim team for Trinidad and Tobago at this year's CC Can tournament that takes place in this country from June 22nd through July 2nd. Carter and McLean will be joined by several experienced swimmers at the junior and senior levels. Jaron Thompson, Jada Chatur, Jada Chai, K.L. York, Cadon Williams, Amira Pilgrim, Gabriella Donahue and Jamia Harley all won individual gold medals at Carifta and have successfully made the CC Can team. Abraham McLeod, who is a 2015 CC Can gold medalist and record holder, will also be in TNT's lineup. Sherelle Thompson, Kristen Julian and Joshua Romani have also returned to reinforce the team's strength as they battle powerhouses like Cuba, Venezuela, Costa Rica and Mexico. And staying with CC Can, going for broke, that's the Amateur Swimming Association of Trinidad and Tobago, which named 5 strong water polo teams to challenge for medals at the upcoming CCCAN Water Polo Championships from June 22nd to 28th at the National Aquatic Centre in Balmain, Vancouver. Several of the teams are laden with young talent, some of whom are returning from university to strengthen both the junior and senior squads.
One of TNT's strong suit comes via the under-18 female team, which is hoping to build on the strong showing from the recent Crafter Games, which they won in the Bahamas. They will look to Victoria Gillette and the shot-stopping ability of goalkeeper Zoe Van Rieken, among others. The under-18 boys who skipped the Crafter Games to compete at the more demanding Consonant tournament in South America are primed to explode in the scene and will again rely on the prolific Chad Rowley, who netted 24 goals to top all scorers at Consonant. The under-15 boys are putting in the work to try to get up to speed after a tough outing in the Bahamas, and will look to Everson Latchman and Tristan Francois to guide their fortunes. Trinidad and Tobago is also blessed with a string of former national youth stars who have just returned from university to strengthen the open squads for both men and women. The men's team can call on Daniel Alvarez, Daniel Tadier, and Russell Ferreira, among a host of other standouts who can count either All-American or All-Conference honors to their credit. Shotstopper Sebastian Van Rieken is also expected to feature prominently for the local squad. The senior ladies will welcome back Renee Chinley from the University of Pennsylvania, where she receives honorable mention All-American honors and suits up well alongside other graduating juniors like Leah Dos Santos and Anissa Clark Rowley. The CCCAN tournament is the qualifier for the senior teams for the 2018 CSE Games in Colombia.
And that was the sport for today.
Well, that's how we end the CNews report at noon. I'm Karen Kozier-Phillip.
And I'm Nasira Mohammed.
Remember, for up-to-date and breaking news throughout the day, you can visit the CNews website at ctvtt.com. Do have a good afternoon.